Bueno, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Estamos ahora mismo en directo. Esto es un evento especial de Armored Core Fires of Rubicon. Y estamos en live ahora mismo. Flipamos, ¿eh?
Vati, you are very knowledgeable about this series. What are some final thoughts you have on Armored Core 6?
Vamos a ver información del PvP, de las misiones y más
I'm just really
cosas.
glad that Armored Core 6 encouraged me to play all of the older games, because it made me realize I'm just so into this. I'm so into this process of sort of fine-tuning your mech to be perfectly suited for the missions, and I love that bleak world, and there's just this really distinct vibe that Armored Core has that I really
Claro.
hope new
Un
fans
segundo, voy a ver
come
aquí
in
mismo.
and
Vale,
discover,
tengo
because
aquí. Vale.
I think a lot of the old fans have been talking about this stuff for a while, so it'll be exciting to see people sort of break into a new genre almost. So I hope Armored Core 6 does well, because even just because I want the genre to do well now, like I'd love to see more mech games to let you customize your mech on a deeper level, and From Software seem like they're sort of the kings of this genre, from what I've seen, so I think
Hombre,
Armored Core
son los
6 could
reyes del
really
género porque es
give
que
a boost
saben
to
cómo
the
hacerlo, o sea, son
whole
expertos.
scene.
Es
I feel like the
difícil,
whole time
pero
you were
justo.
talking, Vati, I totally agree, especially with your enthusiasm. It sucked in a lot of my community, so we're big fans of your videos and keep doing what we do, because thank you so much, Vati, for joining us and sharing your insights about the world of Armored Core.
Sure, thank you so much. Thank you.
Este hombre Bati está tan tranquilo, casual, como que ay, como si está fumando un porro o algo. Están preparando otro. Uy, vaya,
For our
interesante.
pilot onboarding, I am joined by the experienced Armored Core pilots, Ouroboros and Fighting
Tío más
Cowboy.
gordo que no
Hi,
veas.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an
Oh
honor.
man, it's an honor for me to be with you guys. Well, what have been some of your impressions so far of the game?
It's perfect. It's the FromSoft has done it again. Armored Core fans are going to feel right at home. It's so good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things people are going to notice is that it still feels fresh, but it's very familiar. The level of customization and testing out different leg types and different weapons, and it's very visceral and heavy still, which I think is a big thing that kind of sets Armored Core apart from a lot of other, mech games. It's not
Muy bien.
It's fast,
Visceral y
it feels
muy
very
destructivo,
visceral.
¿no?
I like that you said heavy. It feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like you can really feel like you're doing some damage in them, right?
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. Today we'll be doing more than just sharing impressions. Let's get into some gameplay. Yeah,
Oh,
let's
vamos a ver
go.
nuevo gameplay. Venga, a ver,
While
venga.
Fighting Cowboy gets set up, Ouroboros, what would you say are some
Enséñame
key
gameplay, que tengo
strategies that
ganas.
viewers should keep an eye out while playing, Armored Core?
Okay, so the main thing is the mech customization.
Right.
Changing out your parts, your AC, your build, and the biggest thing is the legs. The legs change your gameplay entirely. When you switch your legs, it feels like you're playing an entirely different game.
Okay.
It's awesome. There's a couple different types of legs. Bipedal are like the standard mech legs that let you move super quick. There's reverse joints, which are really cool. You can jump in the air super high. Quads.
Me gusta,
tetrapods,
o
they call them
sea,
in this game.
puedes saltar en el
Allow you to
aire,
hover
hay
now in the
diferentes
air.
tipos
You
de
can actually rain down,
piernas,
like, fire
Oh, I
upon your
love
foes.
that.
It's awesome.
diferentes
It's so good.
habilidades. Eso
And
está
then there's tanks,
buenísimo,
which, of
tío.
course, are just beefy monstrosities. You can't even touch them. They're super tanky, super powerful. Cowboy's a big fan of those.
Really? Well, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see, Fighting Cowboy. So let's head over and check him out.
Vamos a ver un poco de gameplay de Flying Cowboy. Mira, este es su mecha.
What's happening, y'all? My name is Fighting Cowboy. Welcome to Armored Core 6, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the first missions of Chapter 2, Infiltrate Grid 086. So we're going to go over the assembly I'm running with for this mission briefly. We are working
Madre mía,
with
tiene un
pretty
mecha de que te
well-balanced
cagas,
PC here. We have the Curtis. This is a linear rifle, so it can be charged to do some extra damage.
Wow.
This gives us a little bit of range for targets that are a little farther out. Bringing a Gatling gun, this just gives me being able to take down multiple weaker targets, a lot of good stagger buildup, so it's very consistent. We have a missile launcher on the back, 10 cell. This is going to be capable of multi-lock, and it's a forward-facing missile, so it's pretty consistent to hit targets with. And then we are pulling out the pile bunker. I know a weapon a lot of people have.
O sea que tiene un build que tiene mucho ataque, mucho poder, como habéis visto.
Out of the various melee weapons, this has definitely become one of my favorites. Besides that, we're running a pretty balanced loadout here in terms of parts. We are running quad legs, so you get to see some quad legs gameplay. Really nice archetype here because we're able to just kind of hover up in the air, hang above enemies with stuff like the charge shot on the linear rifle. We don't have kickback from that while we're in hover, so that's very nice. And then we have a FCS that is set up for a little bit of missile as well as medium range. And of course we can, dive in.
O sea que es un build muy balanceado para distancia media y larga.
A good meter range on enemies. We're going to also be working with assault
Que funciona muy
armor, so
bien.
we'll see that. But otherwise, let's jump in and sort. I am going to be skipping the dialogue here. Don't want to spoil the intros and whatnot. There's actually a pretty rich story here, but that's definitely something I want to let y'all discover on your own. You may notice this is the same mission that they initially showed off with the very first game.
Ah, vale, la misión inicial. Qué guapo, tío. Es que se ve buenísimo. Mira qué guapo. Me encanta, es que me encanta. Es que ya estoy adicto ya a esto. Los movimientos son tan precisos y tal. Es que es increíble, ¿eh? También lo que sería el combate, como puede ser el combate, pues puede ser el aéreo, puede ser por el suelo, o sea, dependiendo de tu estilo de juego, ¿no? Prácticamente. Puedes definirlo como te dé la gana. También el juego es muy rápido. Aquí no es como Elden Ring donde tienes que concentrarte y golpear una vez. Aquí hay que moverse y mucho. Claro, como puedes ver, ¿no? Porque te pueden atacar desde todas las direcciones. Literalmente por detrás, por delante, izquierda, derecha, da igual. O sea, esto es increíble. Porque los pies, esos, a mí personalmente no me gustan los pies. Los cuádruples no me gustan para nada. Prefiero lo que sea los dos pies. Porque los cuádruples como que me dan un poco de, no sé, como que no es un mecha, es algo muy diferente, ¿no? Bueno, hay gente que obviamente les gustará.
Ricochet text is showing up, that means you need to be closer to the target to really get the damage that you want to get in.
2 repair kits remain. You think you could just waltz straight in here?
Ah, es otro mecha, es otro mecha enemigo. Combate 1 contra 1. Me encanta porque hay combate 1 contra 1 en el cual obviamente es muy diferente a los tipos de trash mobs, ¿no? Lo que serían los que puedes matar rápidamente. Porque rifle francotirador a distancia corta, ¿vale? El melee.
It's so hard, I love that thing.
Hostile AC destroyed.
Looks like you're having fun, Taurus.
And here the level really opens up.
Love the good
So we
Wow.
could go over there.
Muy grande, ¿eh? O sea, puedes irte de muchas
Back
partes.
there. What we're gonna end up doing, there's some MTs we can get first, so let's head on up there, see if we can't get up on them from behind. I'm actually gonna try and, so you can see they're unaware right now. Let's see if I can get all the way up and get a pile bunker on them while they're unaware.
Oh, nice.
Not quite.
O sea, que no te detectan inmediatamente, te detectan si te ven en su campo de visión, ¿no? Está muy bien.
Missing that one MT, there he is. He's kind of tucked away back there. Ooh, just barely missing that.
Los esquives también tienen tiempo de recarga, como puedo ver. Si los utilizas malamente, pues puedes estar en una posición muy vulnerable. Hay que esquivar cuando hace falta, pero no constantemente, ¿no?
We got him down. So definitely looking a little bit rough. We've gone through a lot of enemies so far. AP is pretty low. We're going to still cruise along and take out whatever we can.
Está casi muerto ya. Y no tiene kit de reparaciones. Es muy raro, Está casi muerto. Se va a morir este tío. Lo van a matar ya,
Not what I wanted to do.
Lo van a matar, lo van a matar. Está casi muerto. Los puntos de vida están en rojo. Está en rojo. Le quedan 2000 puntos de vida. Está moribundo el tío. No sé si puedes encontrarte kits para reparaciones. Creo que no, O sea, tienes que ser los 3 kits para reparar tu mecha. Pero en el campo de batalla creo que no hay. O sea, como te quedes sin reparación, estás jodido prácticamente. Entonces, que otro enemigo está escapando, como que déjame en paz. Ahí está, ¿no? Eso que es una región diferente.
Doing a couple little spins here.
¿Qué le pasa ahora?
Gate is open,
Tiene que
let's head on
girarse.
up. Now that we're in close encounters, we gotta be extra careful. The last thing we want to do is get popped off by a big explosive or something. We're going up, we're gonna scan the environment.
Quedan
See this guy taking
1700
out
puntos de
fast.
vida, Casi
And see
muerto.
another one hiding right here under the grate that,
Me gusta que
little
puedes hacer como
front trickery.
sigilo, ¿no? Que puedes meterte sigilosamente, matar por detrás, o sea...
No!
300 puntos restantes, Se va a morir, Se va a morir.
This is now a survival run at 365 AP.
Uf. En la barra de arriba, cuando esté como stagger, la barra de arriba, una vez que está obviamente como que paralizado, digamos, ya puedes dañarle más. La barra superior se pone roja y ya pues está como que paralizado por unos cuantos segundos. Y es cuando tienes que soltar lo que sería tu artillería pesada, ¿no? Claro está. Aner, pues sí, tiene un pinta buenísima.
Chest down there, but
Fíjate que yo Armor Core únicamente jugué creo que el cuarto, no me equivoco, muy poco. Y esto para mí me viene de perlas, porque From Software para mí personalmente es ahora mismo mi estudio favorito. Me pasé Elden Ring, creo que me tiré unas 70, 80 horas en el juego. Seguramente lo mismo. Me va a durar, puede que más de 100 horas, porque el PvP aquí me gusta más, porque es un poco más central. No hay que irse por allí buscando a alguien, te metes y juegas y listo. No es mucho más centralizado en cuanto a PvP. En el Elden Ring es que me aburría buscando gente, invadiendo, corriendo por ahí a lo bestia, como que, venga, hombre, yo quiero instantáneamente una lucha, ¿no? Y en pues los PvP van a ser misiones directamente en PvP, como una arena, ¿no? Como lo que sería igual que los Call of Duty. Son muy buenos. Este tío todavía sigue vivo, o sea, le quedan 300 puntos de vida y es que todavía sigue vivo, madre mía. Está como que, ¡buah! Mundo sobrevivencia, ¡buah! 100 puntos, macho. Ya está, se ha muerto. Se ha muerto. Muy largo para ti, bueno, hombre. Sí, fue muy largo, o sea, Elden Ring me encantó. A veces me sentí como que se ponía muy largo, pero bueno, lo que sería, quería acabar con la historia y por eso sigue para adelante. Pero al pasarme la historia, no jugué al New Game Plus porque simplemente como no había incentivo, no recibías nada nuevo, pues como que lo dejé. Pero la expansión, cuando la saquen el año que viene, la expansión de Elden Ring, la jugaré segurísimamente. Este junto con Starfield. Madre mía, tengo para rato, tengo para rato. Porque voy a hacer en live stream este y el Starfield, los dos en el canal. Y bueno, pues va a ser increíble. O sea, Starfield tiene para
Let's go
jugar
back and
años, ¿no?
take down those other ACs that ambushed us last time.
Back surrender. Just not worth the losses. Come on, I'll let you finish. Up along there.
You can see they were guarding a little chest.
También hay cofres. Vaya hombre.
2C 3000 records, so that's just going to be an AC part. And that's one of the really fun things about this is similar to some older entries in the franchise, we're able to find chests in certain levels that will give us parts we can collect. Just unique things that you can't buy in the shop, which is really
O
cool.
sea que durante las
So,
misiones te
coming up
puedes
on the road, we
encontrar
have a
partes
boss,
que
and
son
right before that, we would have a
únicas.
supply Sherpa, which
Que no
right
se
here,
pueden
if
comprar.
you made it this far, you can go ahead and supply. You'll get all of your health back, all of your ammo. And
Hombre,
you're
los
ready to go to the boss
bugs
and
no
keep
van a
fresh.
ser
But
muchos
here we
porque
are actually going
normalmente
to
From
wrap things
Software
up
son
and
muy
pass it on to my good
estables.
friend Ouroboros to try and tackle the boss.
Oh man, Fighting Cowboy demonstrated his amazing maneuverability in his AC. I was smiling the whole time. I kind of wanted him to keep going. And I love that he demonstrated like how much you can use that 360 view. Oh, he's here. Welcome back, Fighting Cowboy. I saw
be
you
back.
smiling the whole time.
Yes.
I smiled when you
It's-
smiled, actually.
Tío más
It's
grande,
fun. It's hard
macho.
to not smile while
Buh,
playing.
I can't wait to play because that was
Qué
fun
bueno.
to watch. What tips do you have for players who might
Está
not be
sentado
used to the
demasiado tiempo. Tiene que hacer un buen
360-degree
ejercicio.
movement?
So I think
Bueno,
a big thing
Starfield.
with
¿Te refieres a
armor core is your
Starfield?
leg types move very differently. Your
Bueno,
wrist joints give you a lot of vertical mobility. Your tetrapods, as you saw, is a
habrá
lot of
algunos
vertical
muy
legs. The tank
fuertes,
might
pero
not have
bueno.
mobility, but it's a lot beefier. So I think a big thing with this game is
Habrá que
just
ser
trying out
paciente,
different parts and
espera
finding what works.
actualizaciones.
And one of the things that's really nice is
Right.
as opposed to like, respecking in other games, you just buy the parts. So, in that example where I died, if I had gone to assembly, I could have traded out for tank treads and made my character a lot stronger with more defense and then jumped right back in. So it's really about kind of mixing and matching and just
That is too
yeah.
much fun. That is too much fun. That aspect to me is just there's the
Y como bien
possibility
dice la
is endless.
chica,
it
puedes
really is.
modificar
There's a
tu
lot you can
build
do with
como
it.
quieras
You can,
porque puedes
like,
comprar
I
piezas.
mean, how many,
Y está muy bien, o sea, no hay
ACs do you have, like, in
niveles
your
como en el
arsenal?
ring. Aquí compras
I
piezas
have, like,
y lo
14
modificas y ya
already.
está, ¿no?
14. Oh man.
But we haven't gotten into like the meme ACs yet. We're making
Okay.
the fun ones right now.
Like the decals, I know that there's decals
Yeah,
there.
yeah. There's full decal colors, different camos. You want to make something from Gundam or Evangelion, go ahead. If you want to make the edgiest, darkest AC, go ahead. The pinkest, brightest AC, go ahead. That's the beauty of
I
this
mean,
game.
the
You
cool
just-
thing is like, they have model kits too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that's like some people can emulate their model kits from, Armored Core and bring it to this game. But, I pretty much have a question for you. I really want to ask you, what is your favorite legs in the? I really want to know because we keep talking about the legs. What's your
So
favorite?
lately I've been playing a lot of tetrapods, but I'm a beefy boy at heart, so it's got to be tanks.
I love that.
It's got to be the tank.
Thank you so much, Fighting Cowboy. That was awesome. Well, hopefully our viewers can try out some of those tips at launch. All right, next up, take a look over at Ouroboros as he picks up at the start of a boss fight with the Smart Cleaner.
Oh, es un boss fight. Ah, mira.
All
Este
right,
es
so we're gonna
completamente
pick up
todo
right where
muy
Cowboy
diferente
left
build,
us off, right before the Smart Cleaner boss fight, which I'll be going over in just a second. I just want to say Cowboy did an amazing job. I was on the edge of my seat watching him with 300 AP left. But here we are. I'm going to go into the boss fight and sort of, show you guys what you can expect from Armored Core 6 here.
Este obviamente es mucho más ágil, ¿no?
With sort of your default missiles and some linear rifles, dual linear rifles. I also have a blade that I can swap to and go in and try to hit him.
Nice.
But we'll soon discover that staying close to him is a terrible strategy, as he does a lot of close range damage. You do not want to be close to him ever.
Wow, eso es mucho daño,
His stagger
Wow,
gauge
se
is
está
really
muriendo,
low,
se está
but
muriendo.
We're almost dead here. But we got that stagger. We'll go in for the melee hit.
¿Por qué no te reparas, hombre? Repárate. Que tienes 3 kits de reparación.
And he got us. But we're gonna change the build to adapt to the situation. So I've discovered that there's another lock-on point on top of him there, and I'm thinking that might be another weak spot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into assembly. After you die, you can go to assembly and you can change your mech entirely. So we're gonna switch to the quadrupeds and change our build just a little bit here and try to adapt to the situation, which is important in Armored Core. Of course, the developer said you can go in with any mech you like, you can play the entire game, but adapting and changing your build on the fly is a huge aspect of this game. We're also going to equip terminal armor, which just in case we die, it actually saves us. So we'll equip that in the expansion slot. So now we've completely changed our mech. We've equipped 2 songbirds, which are grenade cannons, which, as you can see, does a lot of damage here. It's going to be pretty good, I think, for the boss. So let's go back in with our revised mech and see how we do. A new strategy this time.
A mí me encanta que como cuando te mueres puedes resucitar junto al boss, que en los anteriores no podías.
Right over his attack,
Ah,
right to his weak
mira.
spot.
Wow.
Now we still got to be careful because right there, that bleep is the eruption coming out. That means you gotta be quick and you gotta be ready to dodge. But we already stunned him, so I'm gonna drop down and light him up.
Nice, nice, nice. Mucho daño, Está reventando.
Ooh. The best tip I can give for the smart cleaner is stay away. You need to stay away from him. His cleaves, his sweeps are nasty.
Cleaner's going to have the last laugh.
We'll see about that, Carla. He's getting absolutely annihilated here with our brand new build. The stagger that we're pulling off on his weak spots.
Claro, es que el build es todo, ¿no? Como que en el ring.
Close. You got to be careful, and actually we got to back up and conserve our energy because we're quite low at the bottom there. Ooh. Wow. All right. He's getting angry. Trying to back up, reposition, and hover in the air, and then we're gonna try to float over to his weak spot again and light him up. There we go. Oh my goodness! Look at that damage. This
Nice.
is just destroying in this run, and this goes to show, like, you know, different ACs can handle different situations a lot better than other builds will. So the best advice I can give any Armored Core 6 players diving in is to try to adapt if you're having trouble. Also, we are having trouble. He is really angry. He does not want me to kill him.
Le van a matar.
Float up and try to finish him.
Van a matar,
Here we go.
macho.
We got the stun. We're getting that direct hit damage.
Toma, ya está, ya está.
Oh, I went for the finisher. I'm doing it again. There we go.
Nice.
Perfect kick finish. I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. And we'll see you soon for some PvP action for World First.
Van a mostrar PvP también. Muy
Oh
bueno,
my
¿eh?
gosh, Ouroboros really got me on edge with that one, especially with the chip damage and everything. I was just, that was amazing. The efficiency was astronomical. I was just really impressed. I was taking notes actually during his whole fight, and I love that he actually changed up his build. And he's here right now. I love that. And you explained everything so well.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, we know that this is a philosophy of observe and learn. That's a common DNA of From Software games.
Yeah.
Is this true in Armored Core as well?
Oh, very much so. You know, it's a traditional FromSoft title. So, you know, as you can see, like, he had the telegraphed attacks, and you have to remember to dodge it, and you could very quickly learn to stay away from him because he does those big sweeps, you know, and they're super cool. But yeah, From Software are known for the difficulty, fair but punishing. That's the main thing.
And to me, I feel like that's super fun because you can just come in with different, you know, ACs and then figure out what works best for you.
Exactly.
And your
Yo
tactics.
intentaré
right?
hacer
And I
un
love that
build
you
que va a
told
ser
all of us,
muy
like,
rápido
what you were doing each time. So that's
y veré
reassuring to
lo
hear.
lejos que puedo
I noticed
llegar,
that the
¿no?
parts that you chose in assembly seem to play a specific role in the way you fight. Can you elaborate that? What should players keep in mind when customizing their Armored Core?
Okay, so the big thing about customizing, like, your Armored Core, again, is the legs that make a huge difference. As you can see, I switched to the quadrupeds there, and I had a much easier time with the
I
boss.
see.
You know, and that goes for all the customization in the game too. You know, you have to balance the equip load with your energy output, and you've really got to, you know, balance this perfectly to make your mech like
To
as
the
good as
T
it
of
can
what
be.
you want
Yeah,
it to be.
super efficient, and
I
that's
feel
what I'm
like,
all about.
yeah, and I see that because, you know, you switched out and you knew exactly what to do and you went in and you conquered.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I should ask this because we're trying to learn here, and I'm sure people at home want to learn. What is your favorite build so far?
Ooh.
Yeah, like that.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I know, but your favorite build,
I have a lot. Okay, so my favorite build personally is dual linear rifles. And I
Okay,
like to stay away from them and then switch to the blade when they're
see.
staggered.
Oh,
I pull out
man.
the blade on the back of the garage. Has like a offhand thing. It's really cool.
And I know that I was asking this, you know, to Cowboy. So what was your favorite legs? I keep on talking about the legs because that's very important.
It's very important
because
in
the
Armored
weight
Core.
too.
Yes,
The weight too, right?
Exactly.
So you have to keep in mind of the weight and everything. So what was your favorite legs in the, you know, for AC units?
I like the classic bipedal. I always have. You know.
Okay.
Back in Armored Core 4, I was obsessed with bipedals, you know, just
Right.
the normal ones, but they're still really cool, you know. For those players who like to move fast, there's no better option. And I like to be super quick, super nimble, super lightweight. That's my main play style.
I mean, you were pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Well, you were pretty efficient. That was pretty fast. I mean, majority of the time when people are trying to figure out like what units are, how to make it look, I think that a special thing in Armored Core 6 is that everyone can share their ACs.
Oh my gosh, that's the coolest feature
Ah,
ever.
puedes compartir
So,
tu AC.
if
Qué
I make an
guapo.
AC and let's say anyone wanted to copy the AC for that boss, you know,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
quadruped that destroyed that boss, I could upload the code, I could give it to my friends, share it with anybody, and they can just buy the parts instantly if they have that part unlocked. It just works.
I love
It's
that
so
about
cool.
it. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
like, I mean, back then you would just take a screenshot or something
Yeah,
and then just
and like,
upload
oh,
it.
yeah,
Now it's like
exactly.
showcasing your build is like
Qué
the
guapo, o sea que
coolest thing.
puedes
That's awesome.
prácticamente
And I also like
copiar
that you can have
otros
the
builds
decals and then colorization
de otra
and
gente, que
everything
está
too.
muy bien, ¿eh? Esto
Don't
es como
get
en
me started
Yu-Gi-Oh!
on the
No, I
customization.
want to.
That's my
Please elaborate.
favorite part.
Okay.
So, it's just so good. You can, you know, it's a classic. You can pick any color, but you can
Right.
pick like any color on any color. Like the parts, each individual part has like, I think 6 different colors
Please
to choose
do
from.
geek out on this because
Yeah.
I
my
totally
gosh.
love that.
You can change the materials. You
Uh-huh.
can make it like shine. You can have, you can add patterns and stuff. You can make it like rusty, and it just went absolutely ham this time
I am so
on
excited.
the customization. It's awesome.
I have this idea because, you know, Armored Core
Y
obviously
sin
has model
microtransacciones
kits. I'm
como
thinking I
otras
can
empresas,
make
¿eh?
a model kit that's exactly like the one I have in game.
That would be so.
You know what I
cool.
mean? I mean, you could do that too.
I could do that.
You
I
could do that.
I would
but then
treasure that forever.
You might have like a bunch of, you know, ACs after this, right?
Yeah. Oh, I already have 5 ready to go for the PvP segment. I'm super excited to
Oh,
show
the
off to you guys.
PvP is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's ever really seen it yet. I mean, this is the
This is-
worldwide
this is it.
debut. It's
I'm
going to be
so
crazy.
excited.
I mean, do you have any words for your competition right now?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, do you have any words?
It's a little unfair since Cowboy's not in the room with me.
It's
but,
not unfair. I mean,
you know,
it's
good luck.
okay.
Good luck, Cowboy. That's what I have to say. Good luck.
okay. Well, I mean, is there anything else that you can tell the people at home
Vamos a
that's
ver
watching right
PvP,
now,
está muy bien, ¿eh?
about Armored Core? You know, like what you love most
Oh,
about
okay.
this game in particular.
A lot of people are worried that this game is going to be too Souls-like, right?
I see,
That's a word
right.
that goes around a lot.
Mhm.
And I can say that this is the Armored Core we know and love. You know, this is Armored Core to a T. After playing it, it's just perfect. It's exactly what we wanted for
Oh,
10 years of waiting. You know, and they nailed it. It couldn't have been any better.
I mean, just hearing that from you and
Yeah.
everyone here has blown me away because the last one I've played personally was 3. And then,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
that was a long time ago. And I really am excited because they do take some elements of older games and put it into this game,
Yes.
which I think is so awesome, you know?
¿Está bien?
And, well, I mean, now that we have PvP and you can play with your friends. You already have a group of friends that you're gonna bring onto your.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. We're
Okay.
getting the old clan back from 5 together again.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out to any of them?
Oh gosh. Yeah, Joker King and Luke. Those are my two like
Oh, man.
go-tos. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And Lightning Count, of course. Gosh,
that's
we'll go
awesome.
on all day, but yeah.
I'm really excited to join in with my community. I know that the community is really large. I mean, it was smaller and niche before, but then it's just going to get really big. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're excited about that too.
Oh my gosh, this is Armored Core's moment. You know, for years, and it's sort of
Yes.
been a little niche, but
Yeah.
I think now that you know, FromSoft has gotten so huge after Elden Ring that it's finally going to see the light of day. I mean, this production value and everything here is just incredible.
I just
like
can't
I'm blown
wait.
away.
I mean, it's a dream come true
It
to
is.
many of us.
Claro,
We're so excited to
Armor
be
Core
here.
por fin
This
se
is
merece,
great.
recibe lo que se
No,
merece.
please nerd out. Like we are here to nerd out, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You know, I'm just excited because I'm hoping for more kits.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
yeah,
some more
yeah.
model kits or something. I mean, I do think. Whoa.
The collector's edition statue.
Oh, that one's really
Have you
nice.
seen that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I'm just. I think that I do want to ask you: are there any tips and tricks for this game in particular that you can give
Oh, yeah.
everyone else that are new to this game?
So the main thing that I was sort of trying to go over in my gameplay segment is that change your mech, adapt
see.
to the situation. You know, if something isn't taking a lot of damage from like a kinetic weapon, which are like the normal guns,
I see.
try using a laser weapon. Maybe it's weak to laser energy damage. Just adapt to the situation.
O sea, que hay
Go
también
into
diferentes
assembly,
tipos de daño
change out
también,
your
no
parts,
sabía
your
esto.
legs, your weapons, your shoulders,
El cinético, daño
anything, and
láser,
just
puede
try
daño de
stuff, try stuff,
fuego,
and
a
you'll
lo
be
mejor.
surprised how effective stuff can be.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I feel like our segment is just us geeking out, and I love
Yeah,
that.
I know,
Oh.
it's been fun.
But thank you so much.
Oh,
That was
thank
awesome
you.
gameplay, and good luck with the PvP later.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for the insights. With all that information in mind, let's take a quick break before we come back to our awesome PvP segment.
Bueno, habrá PvP, macho, habrá PvP, qué bueno, qué bueno. Uf. Veremos el PvP directamente por primera vez, World Premiere. Vuelven en 5 minutos. Ahora vemos el tráiler, ¿no?
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Están preparándolo ahí.
Handler
A ver si les va bien, ¿no?
activating cerebral coral control device.
Es que este juego de verdad es que es un sueño hecho realidad prácticamente.
Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
Armor Core Boy. Nos quedan 3 minutos de espera. En 3 minutos estamos con el PvP. Por fin.
One of the infamous handler Walters.
También espero que tenga una expansión, porque sería guapísimo, Sé que las historias en estos juegos eran como que 50 misiones, más o menos. Y después el New Game Plus también.
Priority subject for termination. High on
O sea que hay para rato, Hay para rato.
From the generator.
Es buenísimo, buenísimo.
Why hide behind another's call sign?
Ese es el juego de mecha que siempre quise jugar en mi vida.
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
2 minutos para el PvP. 2 minutos. Joder, qué guapo. Qué suerte, tío. O sea, yo nunca fui invitado a uno de esos eventos. Nunca. Nunca me invitaron. Ah, qué suerte esta gente, no veas, macho. Puede que algún día en la década me invitarán a participar en un evento de videojuegos, quién sabe. Muy pocos tienen la suerte realmente. Pero bueno, ¿qué se va a hacer? Lo importante es disfrutar y jugar, ¿no? ¿Verdad? Música. 1 minuto, gente. 1 minuto para el PvP. Ya estamos casi, ¿eh? La música también me encanta. Buenísima. Ya estamos. Menos de 1 minuto para el PvP. Esto será World Premiere. Seguramente será bastante complicado. Pero bueno, los PvPs, lo bueno de estos es que son muy rápidos. Y al morirte, pues puedes cambiar rápidamente. Creo que disfrutaré del PvP de este juego bastante más que Elden Ring. Porque en Elden Ring es que me dio mucha pereza buscar gente e invadir. Es que no, como que no. ...10 segundos, chavales, 10 segundos para la gran revelación. Qué bueno, qué bueno. Ya estamos. PvP, let's go. Wow.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you.
Before we head into the fresh
Zealous.
PvP, I would like to introduce you to Zealous from Armored Core Legacy, who will be our commentator today.
Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much.
Un comentarista también, joder.
Happy to see you. Zealous, oh my gosh. It is nice to see you. It is really nice to see you. Behind the scenes, we have From Chang and Cleric playing PvP together. Zealous, can you tell us a little bit more about Armored Core Legacy?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to that here.
Yeah.
So the project came about a little over 10 years ago. This was during the Armored Core 5 Verdict Day era. During that time, and From Cheng came to a few members of the Midwest community, myself, Tierson, who can't be with us today, is our other team member,
Right.
and also my friend Cleric, who's here today. He's going to be in for PvP, of course, PvP session. And
He's awesome. Yeah.
the idea that we had, and that Cheng proposed to us was come up with a fan site to help support the Armored Core community from the grassroots and the very base and kind of build up the foundation. So as far as what we do, if it's Armored Core related, we love to post it. It's been fun to have that torch burning during this period, during this 10 years, something way, that we've had and then we've had going for it. So speaking of the legacy of Armored Core, there's a lot involved in that. It's not just the games, it's not just the classics, because Armored Core has ranged since PS1, PlayStation 2,
Right.
PlayStation 3. Obviously, we skipped the PS4 era, and we're in here to current.
Right.
But we also chronicle the history of the competitive scene and the tournaments. A lot of you out there may not know it, but Armored Core had a very, very, very bright, vibrant tournament scene, PvP scene. In fact, driving across state lines, that was not a uncommon thing we did. I remember lugging the big CRTVs around, like the PS2s and the memory
That
cards and all
history is so rich.
the whole deal. It's kind of like the start of the fighting game community. If
Right,
anything,
right.
you know?
That it really did.
And,
It did inspire me hearing all of the story with you, especially with community.
Exactly. We had there was the Midwest scene, there was the West Coast, the California scene, which had the biggest, baddest tournament outside of Japan, Masters of California.
Wow.
We had an East Coast scene and also the Southern scene too. So there's so many events encapsulated in all that, and part of our goal too was to help capture that tournament history and to speak to it and everything. And you look at it too, as far as the currency of the forums,
Armored Core Universe, Raven Republic. There's so many forms in this ecosystem that really made up AAC. So our goal was to really try to speak to those things, try to just support from the background and do what we could.
That's amazing. Armored Core
Vaya,
Legacy,
ya empezamos
I
con
hope
el
you guys
PvP.
last forever, and I
Un
hope that
equipo
you
de
grow,
3 contra 3.
especially now with this
Ok,
game
o
coming up.
uno,
We're
no
so
sé.
glad to have the
A ver.
veterans of the community here with us. That's important for this showcase.
Sí, el 3
And with
contra
that,
3.
let's
Ah,
explain
vale.
the format of what we will be seeing today.
Interesante,
In
¿eh?
Armored Core 6, you can select from 1v1 or 3v3.
And a 3v3 is a test of endurance with team
3v3, wow.
set time.
Today, we will be watching a 3v3 with Ouroboros and Fighting Cowboy as team captains.
Each team captain is going to have a Bandai Namco team member as well as an Armored Core Legacy player supporting each captain.
Our Armored Core Legacy players from Chang will be joining Ouroboros, and Cleric will be on Team Fighting Cowboy.
Right on. I'll tell you what, Fighting Cowboy and Ouroboros specifically, we have this kind of bloodbath going. Between them, there's this rivalry. It's
Hold on.
hilarious. I've been listening to it all day. The banter in the hall, the banter at lunch and everything. These guys are ready to go for
Actually,
each
you
other.
know what? I do remember the story that on social media that they were posting pictures
Yeah, you probably
online.
heard of some of this.
They're trolling back and
The
forth.
trash talk has already started, and this is great. This brings back memories of the tournament scene. We do this same thing. You start beforehand, you start during, it goes after. So I can't.
This PvP section.
Qué bueno.
This is the section.
This is what we're all waiting for.
Absolutely.
I was
absolutely.
scouring the internet, and obviously we're doing this today, and I know that there's no PvP online.
Right.
This is the debut.
Exactly.
And I've been, I even watched the
Madre mía, es buenísimo, una locura.
That's the important thing here. We don't have anything canned. There's nothing pre-recorded here. Everything with PvP
Everything
today
is
going to be
live.
live right here. Absolutely.
I'm so
hyped up
excited.
to go through this. Unbelievable.
Oh man, I know. Well, I mean, you're friends with some of the team captains, but
Chang and Eric, etc. But hey, as far as where things go, we'll see where it takes us. It's hard to pick favorites here, you know.
oh man, I mean, for PvP in general, what is the most important thing when you're thinking about doing, like playing with others in Armored Core? What is the most important thing that you would like to tell anyone if they're just starting out and they're playing with their friends?
Yeah, if you're playing with your friends and you're getting into versus, I'd encourage you, don't let nerves get to you about, I don't have like the meta build of the day, or I'm not using like the main current thing, whatever flavor of the day it is. Get in, enjoy your designs. Maybe you ran something in the missions and PvE you'd like using. Get in and use that. If it doesn't work for you, look, what's the worst outcome? You can come in, you can change your design around, you can recustomize and actually go back in and check it out. So
Right.
a big part of PvP is just getting in there and just engaging, just doing. And I think that mental game, getting over that own check mark in your own head is really key, really crucial stuff.
Oh man, look at this.
Well, look at this. We got taking some footage here in the action, in the heat of things. Fighting Cowboy running this tank, he's been an absolute bruiser setting up here. Or trying
He's
to
a
get in
beefy
play.
dude in there.
He is a beefy dude. Beefy dude IRL, beefy dude. If you look at his tank.
Look at that. He wasn't joking when he was talking to me earlier. Yeah, look at that.
Going down, taking the first
Ah,
one. I got
some more.
really important thing here. Something's happening here we didn't have in the previous four games. There is a respawn system, and there's a point system you see up there that's happening at the top of the screen. Past AC games, if you were out, you were out. That was it. But not here. You get a timer, and the longer you stay alive, the more points you're actually worth. We're actually zooming in, going to be looking at some of the strategies everybody's
sea que puedes renacer.
going down after putting out the assault armor. He's ready to push your opponent back
Oh,
here.
he's ready to come back.
But
though.
he's
ready.
chomping
Look
at the
him.
bit. He's chomping at the bit. He's ready to get back in.
He's thinking now. He's like, okay, you think you're playing. I'm not playing.
We're going to be zoning the strategies that everybody's going to be putting forward and using here. Oriole's getting right back in there with the assault boost. Really the new version of overboost. Those of you who played Armored Core 2 and beyond, you're going to remember where we were standing with that.
And all the parts that are moving right now,
Right.
they're controlling every single piece of that.
Exactly. Now there is it's important to know, they're not using every single part that's available. There's a list, kind of a canned list of parts we can use today, because we can't use everything.
Oh, I see.
But let me tell you
Okay.
what, everyone is putting these to max use as far as their builds. We got lightweights, heavyweights, and everyone's come out with some multiple designs. I definitely want to play to some of the granular things that are going to be happening here in Strike. You see that stagger bar building up.
Oh, yeah.
Staggered.
You
The
definitely
blade
want to
in the
build that stagger.
full
And he
combo
did.
in down.
Oh, man. Look at him smiling.
And
Look at him.
Fighting Cowboys loving this.
He's
See, I
loving
told you,
this.
blood in the water. It's blood in the water.
Oh, they love each other. I'm sure they love each other, right? They love each other.
Some. There's a lot of love lost. A lot of it. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Got to speak to the gameplay loop that happens here. Again, setting up those stuns, you can't. Sometimes you're not always in a position to take advantage of them. But a good portion is to be ready. Make sure your weapons aren't overheat.
Es muy frenético, pero oye, me encanta,
Whatever you can to put your opponent down. In the chaos of PvP here, sometimes you get ambushed, like fighting Cowboy here, taking the blade to behind. Madness. Even if you've got the awareness and wherewithal to really stay in this, and you can still.
I feel like Oro is super focused right now.
He is.
He's like, I gotta get this guy fighting Cowboy. Okay.
Oro taking another down. The Alpha team up 17-20, but Beta at
Finish.
24 here.
Man.
There it is.
Fighting Cowboy ganó.
Fighting Cowboy with the
Wow, that was intense.
vicious smile.
That was a crazy match. Like, that's our first PvP match. That's insane.
Man.
Oh, well, I mean, like, what do you have to say about that? Like, what did you notice about their gameplay and also their, ACs?
Right.
Like, what do you have done differently?
Obviously, definitely. I always say, hindsight's 20/20, right? Or like,
Yes.
backseat piloting, as it were.
Right.
But seriously, obviously, there's a real melee when it comes to PvP. The chaos of the scene, dealing with things in the moment.
Right.
One thing I did see a lot of is there's a lot of team play. There's a lot of focused targeting. You notice when there was a stagger that happened on someone specific in the opposite team, everybody else would swarm around, really focus, zone in on them, and try to take full advantage of that. That's the key. As far as doing things different, it's difficult to discern that because it's something you have to think about in real time. You're listening to your team members. Those of you who play Armored Core 5 and Verdict Day, you'd be familiar with this. You're trying to coordinate with them. You don't want to be the guy to rush out too fast or get caught out. Maybe you're too far ahead of your
Communication
team.
is very important.
Or you might be hanging too far back and you're not giving them the kind of fire support they need. Hey,
I think that all these
that.
tips are going to be very critical for a lot of people playing, and this might be the first time that they're playing an Armored Core game. I mean, is there anything that you can possibly give to our viewers at home, like some tips, like as a new player?
Yeah. The biggest thing as a new player, get a control scheme that's comfortable to you. You'll notice when you guys come in, if you're setting up with gamepad, there's type A, B, and C for the control. You can really sit down. You can also make your own custom control layout. That's certainly what I've done. I have a variation of type A controls I like to use.
I did that too, but let's join our players because
here we are. We're coming back into another match here.
Yeah.
A ver, otra batalla.
Fighting Cowboy.
Look how great they all look.
Everybody's got their emblems ready to go.
Look at that. That's
Cleric by his
beautiful.
side in the white Rubicon tank. And we've got Team Green Screen, the glitch in the Matrix here.
They all got it thought out. What is going on?
Rubicon Ouroboros. And from Cheng here, ready live to kick off. Right, Alpha Beta, our second round of PvP coming in here live for AC6.
I still can't believe we're doing PvP
Wow, se
today.
ve hacia arriba, ¿no? Ah, ataque desde la altura.
Community at home is freaking out right now.
Look, the Gundam fans, if you got anybody coming from that, they gotta
All
be
of
digging this
them.
right now.
This is the game,
This is the game. This is it. This
and
is
when
it.
you play, it feels weighty. It feels
There's weight and
amazing.
heft to your AC,
Yes.
and there's just that chunkiness to everything you're doing. So Fighting Cowboy taking advantage of the new feature of quads here. If you're a quad fanatic like myself, I love quad gameplay. Quads have become super aerial now. Fighting Cowboy just taking this position. The aerial assault, notice just raining down hell on everybody.
They're taking advantage of that 360 view. Like, look at that.
Absolutely. And then just reestablishing position as soon as he gets his energy set. Really taking a good job to manage his generator, his energy. Panning back into Ouroboros, who was also running a quad, running dual back cannons instead of those dual rockets. He's got the dual laser cannons. Anybody remember in Armored Core 4? I'm thinking of the Sirius. So fantastic combo to set up the deal. Huge damage. And speaking of huge damage, look at Cleric.
Cleric is popping off right now.
He is trying to use that barrier, using that
But
pulse
you always
barrier.
have to keep in mind of how much you're using it. Oh, there it goes.
Dude,
Okay.
dude. And there goes Cleric going down. Oro taking a bit of a beating, figuring in, and sure enough, cleaning up that last bit of AP he had.
But no, he can rise back up. Oro definitely does. We've seen it do it before. But this is an epic battle right now. Epic battle.
It is a back and forth. You've got, and check this out again. There's another down. Cowboy is taking advantage, getting right back in. Using his pulse shield as well. These are really important. You guys remember the beautiful boost kick coming from Fighting Cowboy. If you remember the extension parts in the previous Armored Core games, it's kind of like that. You get core ability extensions you can make use of. Cowboy going down here.
Down.
Big plummet. Somebody finally looking up and taking the quad out of the
Revenge,
air.
though.
Flipping
You
the
know,
wings.
there's revenge in this game. I'm sure.
Showing you that
Ya han
if the
matado.
quad's going aerial, that does not make you invincible. Sometimes that can make you a sitting duck. Check
Gosh.
this out. Oro.
Everything moves so
It
fast
does.
as well.
This is high
So you got to be
pace.
thinking fast as well.
You do. Not just with your own AC, lining
Right.
up your own attacks, but also trying to coordinate the best you
With
can
your team.
With your team.
Very
Huge stun
important.
here, going down on Cleric, and Cleric takes the down.
And once the game comes out, you already know.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are just taking advantage
yeah.
of all the, all the customizable pieces that they can do with their AC. Oh!
Oro taking his down after trying to reorient. No dice.
Oh,
And again,
man.
notice you cannot use anybody who's worried about the whole repair kit
Right.
deal. That's in PvE. You cannot use those in PvP. So you have to deal with the set of AP that you've got set up here.
There's only 2 minutes left.
2 minutes. Making the
Anything can
most of it.
happen.
Alpha team with a huge jump, going up to 1192. Holding a substantial lead here. Fighting Cowboy, taken to the skies again, and really trying to really paint himself as the villain.
I think so.
In this story.
But he's smiling the whole time,
In
so
this
he's
story.
definitely a villain.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
The perfect villains are always smiling.
Aren't
when
they, though?
When they're taking everyone down.
I think this guy watched Rocky 4. He's
Oh,
kinda- he's
I
kinda
mean,
pulling some
yeah,
Michael
pretty
Drago
much.
tactics here.
Especially when he was talking about like how he likes his ACs. He doesn't play around.
He does not.
No. Oh my
He
goodness.
is just getting some wonderful barrages in without these
I love
multi-lot
that.
missiles.
Look at this, the color scheme on his AC.
Got the camo going.
It looks great.
I know, it's fantastic, fantastic. Cowboy finally taking it down to the ground, going in with Assault Boost. Important note here, when you use Assault Boost / Overboost, we're actually encouraged to do that. You shave a little bit of damage you're taking yourself, but you also deal a little bit more damage as you're going into. So really getting in. Speaking of getting in to do
I
work.
saw that.
Oh.
Fighting Cowboy, fight for his life
he's
here,
taking-
popping that pulse, getting back in the air, getting a brand new stun off to Oro's quad. It's gotten personal now. It's gotten personal.
It's real close right now. It's like,
Oh, and Cowboy
no.
taking the down. I know Oro's got to be enjoying that. My God.
Está bien, está muy bien, me encanta.
This is it. I already want to play.
It's
Oh
high
my
test.
gosh.
It's high test, but Beta Team still trying to swing back here at 10:44 over to Alpha Teams. 1692. Where are we going from here? Oro with low AP, 1558. He's gonna do what he can with this last bit of AP. We got 15 seconds in the round. Let's see what happens with this hustle. Oro going down. Obviously, his core expansion being used. The rest of his team trying to pull together here. There's 5 seconds. Last 5 seconds.
Let's go.
That countdown. And it is over.
A ver quién ganó. Ah, una vez más, Cowboy ganó.
Okay, no more gun. No more gunboat.
There it is. And finding
Dude, your
Cowboy just
missile
taking
was
some
so
time to
constant,
relish
you think-
this. Relishing this
Here's-
kill.
That was amazing. How did you guys think about that at home? I mean, that PvP was so crazy. It was so
Muy
good.
bueno, muy bueno.
That doesn't get you guys hyped. I'm not sure what does. I mean,
It is our world premiere.
and this has come so far
Yeah.
from, I mean, the PvP of like Last Raven or
Right.
some of the older PS2 games. What we're able to do here now and seeing the team combat, unreal.
It's fast and it in turn is also weighty.
Right.
You can feel everything that you're putting onto your unit and you know that it's doing some damage.
Right.
And you're thinking for the moment when you're using everything. Not one button is not used in this game.
Exactly. Everything is getting utilized. So
Yeah.
the best part, there's a bit of a love letter here. There's something for all of you out there, where despite where you come from with Armored Core, those of you who loved Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, you're probably loving the assault armor that was happening going off there. You'll remember Kojima Particles chorus, detonating your PA shield. Just the difference this time is you don't turn your own self. You don't turn your defenses into paper mache when you let off that assault burst. So it's a really good tool. It can be used offensively, can be used defensively. I think we saw everybody here really putting
Right.
those tactics into high play today.
So what are the things that that they're bringing back into this game? I've heard it time and time again from hardcore Armored Core players. What are the things that you noticed? I know Vati mentioned some things too.
Yeah, he pointed to a few things. I'm going to be talking a lot more to combat because I'm still juiced from that PvP.
For
It's
sure.
just totally insane.
Yes.
One thing that you guys saw put in play is the kick. After like people were doing the assault boost to run in, get in close, and do the boost kick. That comes straight from Armored Core 5. Everyone loved the idea of this very kinetic, visceral idea of just ramming your AC straight into another. And now we can still do that here. The boost kit coming back from AC5. I was just talking about assault armor. That's coming back from AC4, as I say, AC4 answer. You've got assault boost, aka overboost. That's back from Armored Core 2. You've got part dropping back from Armored Core 3. It's really all over the series.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. And we've got our third round of PvP setting up. Let's zone in here. Squad, Alpha.
Bueno, pues acabo este stream, que queda muy poco, pero bueno. Espero que habéis gustado, esto me encanta, y el juego pues oye va a ser una joya. Pero bueno gente, nada más, nos veremos en el siguiente directo. Hasta pronto gente.
Listen, if you guys love the MG1000 World Armored Core games, check this out. This new